The spirit of Black Friday continues to degrade, and I'm not buying it. Hi there. This is a channel where I make fun of marketing and generally just talk to power, I guess. Now last year I made a video about Black Friday. That video did pretty well, so I wanted to check back in very briefly and just get a sense of whether there have been any major changes to the state of Black Friday in the modern world, basically. This will not be as in-depth as last year's video, and also it's like currently Monday of Thanksgiving week, so I don't have a ton of time to get this out there. To summarize my previous comments, just on a personal level, Black Friday used to feel kind of special, but now it really doesn't. And while I can chalk some of that up to just, myself and being a different person than I was 15 years ago, it's also true that Black Friday has fundamentally changed in ways that I'm going to talk about right now. Let's get into it. Black Friday still seems to have essentially the same reputation as ever, namely that it's a kind of disgusting and violent confluence of hyperconsumerism, but it also feels like most of us still believe that it's a genuinely good opportunity to get some deals and lean into holiday shopping. And very predictably, retailers have been getting greedy, cashing in on the neo-traditional status of Black Friday. And for quite a while now, the term Black Friday itself has kind of become meaningless because the event has expanded and it's been watered down. So it now refers to basically an entire month's worth of sales events of various kinds. And the original expansion we had was just from Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving itself. That was originally an in-store, one-day only experience. And then it was expanded to Cyber Monday, which was also a one-day online-only experience. And after that, for a short time, there might have been like Cyber Weekend terminology, and it's just been a slippery slope ever since. I'm pretty sure that really Black Friday season is still limited to the month of November, but that could easily change in years to come. And to me, the expansion of Black Friday is more insidious than the expansion of Christmas or holiday season. But as far as I can tell, that's usually limited to holiday themed decorations, peripheral stuff, just the trappings of the holiday season. And to be honest, that's just not a huge deal to me, especially since I happen to like holiday and Christmas decoration stuff. But expanding Black Friday in comparison means drastically expanding a time of year when hair trigger purchases are acceptable, normalized, and even encouraged. And that's not purchases limited to one specific category, that's purchases of basically all kinds of consumer products, as is evidenced by the so-called Black Friday deals being advertised right this minute. It's any kind of product. I've seen power banks, composters, blinds, vacuums, sleep analyzers, which I thought we had kind of moved past as a society, but I guess not. And as I've talked about pretty often, we're in a place collectively where most of us could stand to be buying less, much less. We've arrived at a point where making impulse purchases is a pretty harmful thing, both in terms of personal finance as well as global repercussions. And I guess this leads right into the deals themselves that we're looking at now. I think it's impossible to analyze all of the Black Friday season deals that are currently on offer, so this will obviously be a very subjective take here, so feel free to share your own observations, of course. But I think an interesting case study for us to look at is the advertorial content being posted by largely reputable online media outlets regarding what they refer to as the best or some of the best early Black Friday deals. Quick disclaimer, I guess, when we're talking about these sorts of articles, or maybe I should just call them posts, it's marketing. This is marketing stuff. This is not actual content as we usually think of that word. So for example, Wired's 63 best early Black Friday deals. This post will likely change by the time that I release this video, but here's just one quick example of a deal that I don't think belongs here at all. It's some kind of cup or thermos or something that has been discounted by $5 from $25 to $20. Even assuming like a really bad year of deals, there is no way that this is one of the best that we've got. Actually, there are a lot of similar listings across the articles that I saw. It almost feels like they don't expect you to take these posts at face value. So this is at least one angle of the 2024 Black Friday season experience. Major outlets helping to generate the impression that specific brands and deals are much more significant and worthy of attention than they really are. And again, I know this sounds so obvious to some people, but I can guarantee that there are tons of other people out there who get exposed to this kind of stuff and do not assume any sort of direct marketing connection. They just take it at face value. Of course, the probably unintended effect of posts like this is giving the impression that even the best, quote unquote, early Black Friday deals of 2024 are sort of trash. Like I'm either seeing tiny discounts that could happen at basically any time of the year, or that could be matched or outdone by like a paltry introductory offer from signing up for marketing emails in the range of 10%, things like that. Or I'm seeing more substantial discounts on incredibly niche products for which I have no anchor point. In other words, I don't know how much these kinds of products are supposed to cost in the first place. I don't know how much I would need to spend to get a good one of those things. And MSRP and list prices can't be trusted either because, if they're coming from the manufacturers themselves, they can set whatever list price they want, detached from the actual value or like the actual average sale price of their products. And you can't trust list prices from retailers, generally speaking, at least here in the US. There are laws against this elsewhere. But sites like Amazon are now well known for inflating their list prices to imply that savings are more significant than they really are. At least they've done it in the past. I don't know if they've been made to stop. Probably not. Let's see, what else? Like electronics, I don't know. I think electronics is a pretty famous product category at this point. It's heavily associated with Black Friday. I think it might be a category where it's still worth your while to look for Black Friday deals. But based on what I'm seeing, it really, really depends on the product type, the brand, the retailer, and the product's relative alignment with desirable components, features, things like that. So even if you see a really big TV that is significantly marked down, there's a very good chance that they're just trying to clear them out, or that they have aging parts, aging processors can be miserable on a smart TV, or maybe they use display tech that's undeniably outdated, like most LCD panels these days. So that more or less covers the big box stores. And very briefly, I do want to comment on much smaller retailers that I guess just feel obligated to offer some kind of Black Friday discount. But in my experience, these are generally pretty underwhelming. I'll show some of these on the screen that I have personally received in emails or online or anything like that. And I want to emphasize that I actually do like these retailers. I'm not trying to drag them down or anything. But when you're talking like 10% off site-wide, it almost feels like it would be better to just ignore Black Friday altogether. Of course, the saving grace for smaller, specialized retailers, especially ones tied to specific consumption communities, is that they're much more likely to have really dedicated audiences, customer bases who really just want any excuse to buy stuff there. So in that case, any sort of sale does still have the potential to trigger purchases. It just enables people. And just a quick insert here, while I was waiting in the doctor's office, I was, forced to watch NBC News, which was really miserable. But they had a whole segment just on influencer marketing surrounding Black Friday and the holiday season, which is absolutely a thing. It's not brand new. It's been around for quite a while, actually. But yeah, live streams essentially, particularly on TikTok. It's just huge. It's grown a whole bunch. And apparently it's quite effective. Market research shows that people are far more likely to actually follow through with a purchase if they see it in one of those kinds of live streams. Although, as was pointed out in the segment, this is the Home Shopping Network. Again, I guess it's just potentially more powerful because these might be existing influencers who do work elsewhere. I've also seen plenty of influencers who only do this, you know, for like Amazon or something. They've been doing the live streams for a while now. I don't know. Influencer marketing is definitely its own topic and a very big one. But just wanted to comment on this. I don't think it's that new or exciting. It does make me sad, but at the same time, I understand the appeals of being recommended stuff by influencers. I go for that too sometimes. We will have to come back to that in the future. Just wanted to acknowledge it. And yes, that at least over the span of like the last 5 years or so, it is indeed a pretty big change to the landscape of Black Friday season. And the last major point worth commenting on here is that I also have seen some healthy cynicism towards what Black Friday has become, mostly in the form of just like online chatter and memes and stuff like that. The general sentiment does seem to be that Black Friday discounts have become less exciting overall. And again, that's still a subjective take, but I do agree with it. And if anything, I can definitely say that I've been exposed to a lot of Black Friday advertising this year as a whole, and I have not come across a single deal that really caught my attention or that made me think, oh, let's do that, let's buy the thing. And maybe it's just a coincidence, it probably is, but just the other day I did see Netflix pushing that one movie that talks in depth about retailer tactics for, you know, just promoting purchases and maintaining perceived value of things like luxury items. And I'm very glad to see that kind of work coming to the forefront, and it is technically possible that we are seeing an actual shift in public perception of retailers and consumer products. I actually think Black Friday is a great launch pad for broader anti-consumerism and anti-marketing efforts, which is also why I like talking about it. To sum up, it definitely is still possible to get some really great deals during Black Friday season, but it's also a time of year that is just filled with pitfalls. Brands really do expect you to trust that you're getting these great deals, regardless of the specifics. I would just say try not to assume that this is always going to be the time of year when it's okay to spend more than usual. It can still be helpful for holiday shopping, but really only in specific cases. And if you're feeling pretty cynical about the whole Black Friday situation overall, welcome. I love talking about marketing and consumerism from a critical perspective, and we have a lovely little community full of like-minded people here. So feel free to stick around. Yeah, also if you like the video, normal algorithm stuff is great. I'm also doing just kind of a tip jar system through Ko-fi. So thank you so much for watching the entire video, and until next time, take care.